Hey yo, E-King Fight News, back at it. So the WBA is doing exactly as I expected. Now they are the ones blocking this fight, and it was foreshadowed by Eddie Hearn. You see how this all works, guys? You see how it all works, man? Everything's going just as Eddie planned it out. He wants to have this Wilder fight signed, and he wants to fight Povetkin. Those are the two things he wants to do, and I mean, more on this, guys. We're going to get into it. WBA is ordering Anthony Joshua to fight Alexander Povetkin. More on this. Alright, so as you can see here, the WBA tells Anthony Joshua to fight Alexander Povetkin. At this stage, will Joshua consider vacating the belt? That's the other question. I doubt it. Let's see what this article has to say. World Boxing Champion Anthony Joshua must sign a deal to fight WBA's mandatory challenger Alexander Povetkin with immediate effect. It's absolutely ridiculous. Because when Luis Ortiz was the mandatory, the WBA never pushed this shit. They never pushed the fight the mandatory like they're doing now. I'll tell you that much. Joshua, who also holds the IBF and WBO titles, his camp has been in quote-unquote negotiations with Deontay Wilder. And according to Gilberto Mendoza, the president of the WBA, they are requesting an answer from Anthony Joshua's team regarding his fight with the mandatory Alexander Povetkin. According to him, the WBA has allowed over a month extension to negotiations with Povetkin and ongoing discussions with Deontay Wilder. It appears that Wilder's team has not returned the contract for the fight, and therefore we are requesting a date for the Joshua versus Povetkin fight with immediate effect. And that's all he has to say? Wow, guys, this is like some weird ass fucking shit right here. I mean, I know the mandatories do, but all Eddie Hearn has to do, instead of talking to IFL every other week, talking about his next excuse to duck Wilder, he should go over to the fucking WBA, call up Gilberto Mendoza, and file a fucking extension for the mandatory. You're fighting Wilder, right? Right? Your priority is to fight Wilder, right? Or is it to get it signed for next year? That's just Eddie Hearn doing his sleazeball, grimy ass fucking stall out tactics. He wants to stall this fight out till 2019. And he wants Wilder to have another interim fight so he can just sweat it out like he did with Luis Ortiz, pray that Wilder loses and shit. Meanwhile, you want to throw in Anthony Joshua in with the juice machine over here, Alexander Povetkin. I mean, this could be a huge mistake. This could be a huge mistake on the part of Eddie Hearns. But you know what it is, man. You already know what it is. E-King Fight News, more on this. Alright, guys, I just had to show you this one. E-King Fight News on the real channel out here. Wilder will sign to fight Anthony Joshua. Eddie will claim WBA blocking the fight. Well, it turns out the WBA has come out themselves. Only a day after I posted this, only a few hours after I posted this, the WBA has come out and said, you know what? You know what, Anthony? We're giving you a couple days. Give us an answer on Povetkin. You gotta fight him. And here we go. The WBA is now blocking the fight. I mean, is it a science, guys? Am I Nostradamus out here? Nah, man. Eddie Hearn foreshadowed this shit, man. He did. And, you know, another excuse is in the books as to why this fight can't happen next. You know, Eddie Hearn has had a laundry list of them. And now the WBA, who's obviously in the back pocket of Eddie Hearn. This is obvious, guys. Especially with the way they treated Luis Ortiz. The WBA is now forcing the Povetkin versus Joshua fight. And we're going to see. There's one way out. There's only one way out at this point. E-King Fight News, more on this. Alright. So as I mentioned, at this stage, there's only one way out for Anthony Joshua to salvage a Deontay Wilder fight. There's only one way. And that would be to fight Deontay Wilder next. But he may have to drop that WBA title. What he should really do, and I've said this before, and it's the main reason why I thought this fight may not happen next. It's because Eddie Hearn has never brought up filing an extension to bypass Alexander Povetkin as mandatory. He's never done that. He's never really talked about it in the media. I think he got asked once about it. I know he got asked about it, and he just brushed it off like, oh, that's just a phone call. Oh, I just gotta call them up. That's not an issue. You know, that he just brushed it off, and now here we are in the middle of a point where Wilder's gonna sign the fight, send it back over to Eddie Hearn, and what happens? How convenient is this? How convenient is this? You know, it's not a coincidence, guys. It's not a coincidence. This boy Anthony Joshua does not want to fight Deontay Wilder this year. I'm sorry, guys. He doesn't want to do it. And I told you guys from day one. I don't think it's not going down this year. Not the way these events are unfolding. It's just not going down this year, man. So let's check this out. Shout out to World Boxing News. There's now a huge decision to be made in the grand scheme of the heavyweight division as Anthony Joshua chews over his next move, right? Despite having the upside on almost everything, including the purse split for a fight with Deontay Wilder, where he's taken an unprecedented flat rate fee to fight Joshua in the UK, the WBA has given Joshua 24 hours to arrange the Povetkin deal. Very shocked. You know, I've never seen this 24-hour deadline at all. Like, they just said to immediate effect. But here WBN is reporting 24-hour time span for a decision on the Povetkin fight. So we're going to find out. We already know Eddie Hearn has an agreement with Povetkin to make a fight happen. We already know. That's why it hasn't gone to purse bids. So at this stage, it looks like it's Joshua versus Povetkin. That's what it looks like, guys. It looks like it's Joshua versus Povetkin. And the only question is now, is will Anthony Joshua, this AJ over here, will AJ vacate the title? He probably won't, man. He can't fight you. Whatever the case may be, one thing's for sure. You Joshua fans are just going to find another... You know what's going to happen? These Joshua protection fans out here, they're just going to blame Wilder. Oh, Wilder, he took so long. He took 4 weeks to agree to terms. He took too long. Yo, get the fuck out of here. And the WBA just shows up out of nowhere with a 24-hour deadline to make a fight happen, legitimately, with a 24-hour deadline. Out of nowhere. Have they ever done this before? Has the WBA ever done this before, guys? Did they do something like this for Luis Ortiz? Did they? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. They just ignored Luis like the fucking plague out there. That's what they did. That's just what they did, guys. And then they just wiped him off the rankings. for a drug test that never got taken under the WBA sanctioning body, man. It's absurd. But now we got the juice machine over here. And you gotta wait and see, man. AJ, I swear to fuck, he better be careful with this. He's got the power to knock him out. E-King Fight News. It looks like this is the direction we're heading into. Joshua Povetkin. You know what it is, man. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. To support the channel, head over to Patreon /EKingFightNews. We're on there. Alright, guys. Peace.